The hour of convening having arrived, all members of this House will please report to the floor of the House and take your seats. All members will report to the floor of the House. The clerk will ring the bell. We are going to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed. Good morning. Hope everybody's feeling well today. We're going to begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by the chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning will be introduced by the gentleman from the 176th House District, Chairman James Burchett. Chairman Burchett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And colleagues, thank you for allowing me to come before you this morning. It's not often that I get the opportunity to introduce a friend of mine from high school. Dr. Jonathan Smith played football with me in high school and then went to Georgia Southern with me. He lives in Statesboro now, so I did have to do a little poaching of some of my colleagues, pastors, to get him here today, but I appreciate that opportunity. Dr. Smith serves as the director of the Wesley Foundation at Georgia Southern University and the pastor at Pittman Park University, United Methodist Church in Statesboro, Georgia. Throughout his time at the Wesley Foundation, Dr. Smith has helped create spaces for students to grow in life and in faith and successfully plant a Wesley Foundation on the Armstrong campus of the Georgia Southern University. Dr. Smith serves as a leadership consultant and a coach with the United Methodist Commission on Higher Education and Campus Ministries, where he works to equip campus ministers across the United States with skills that help them reach the next generation with the gospel. Dr. Smith is a graduate of Georgia Southern University. Go Eagles. He completed his Master's of Divinity at the Candler School of Theology at the Emory University and his doctorate at the Columbia Theological Seminary. Dr. Smith and his wife, Stephanie, both serve as ordained elders in the South Georgia Annual Conference of United Methodist Church. They have two daughters, Addison, who wants me to tell you she's 13, but she doesn't turn 13 until next week, who's here with us today. And Lily Grace, who is 9. Without further ado, Dr. Jonathan Smith.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for having me this morning. Ladies and gentlemen of the Georgia House of Representatives, it's my honor and privilege to be among you this morning. Representative Burchett, thank you for the invitation to be here. Representative Tankersley, Burns, and Parrish, thank you for representing the people of Bullitt County here at the Capitol. Your leadership is not only well known, but it's greatly appreciated. It's been my privilege the last 7 years to serve as the director of the Wesley Foundation at Georgia Southern University, and during that time, I've journeyed with students through what I believe to be the most formative years of their lives. 18 to 24-year-olds, though they are adults in the eyes of the law, are just beginning to discern who and what they are going to be. They're emerging adults, a phrase coined by psychologist Jeffrey Arnett. These students, these emerging adults, they're in the process of becoming, in the process of making decisions that set the course for the next 40, 50, 60 years of their lives. In my work, we talk about our students discovering 3 things throughout their time at college, and at Georgia Southern, that can be 4, 5, 6 years. We hope that they leave our ministry, and leave our campus for that matter, knowing who their master is, who it is or what it is that they will submit their lives to. Second, we hope they will learn what their mission is or what they will give their lives for. And third, who their people will be, who they're going to journey with throughout the rest of their lives. These students are literally becoming who they're going to be in this season of life called college. And while that notion can be exhilarating, it's also often terrifying. Let's be honest, the stakes are really high during that season of life. If you get any one of those questions wrong, who's my master, what's my mission, and who are my people, your life will be on the rocks in short order. That season of life is exhilarating and terrifying. Believe me, week after week, I counsel and disciple students who bounce between those 2 different places. I imagine that your work here is much the same. You are engaged in the process of becoming, the process of building something, and not just bills and legislations, but a state, a people, a rule of law to guide and direct the citizens of Georgia. Quite literally, you are making decisions that set the course of our lives together for the next 40, 50, or 60 years. What you do here in this great assembly affects the lives of people beyond those doors, for good or for ill. There is great potential in the work that you are doing, both for our benefit and to our detriment. And that notion is, again, exhilarating or terrifying. It can excite you, or it can paralyze you. It can cause you to open your hearts to new possibilities, or make you harden your heart and close your mind. It can move you to action, or it can stop you dead in your tracks. Your work is a high calling. And while there are many armchair politicians, there are very few who are willing to sacrifice their time, their energy, their resources, and perhaps even their reputation to build a better future for the people of Georgia. And that is your calling. You are here to build a stronger, more vibrant, more competitive state for us all. And I believe in you. We, the people of Georgia, we believe in you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. We are trusting that you will represent us well and guide us into God's good future for us. And that sort of leadership is not easy. It takes courage. It takes heart. It's far easier to build a platform, to stand on a pedestal, or to build a following than it is to put your hand to the plow and lead effectively. It's far easier to give a speech than it is to make a difference. It's far easier to politic than it is to govern. So my charge to you this morning is simple, and it's found in Galatians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. There, Paul, writing to that church in Galatia, says, "Let us not become weary in doing good." It's day 34, I believe. Let us not grow weary in doing good. For at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially those who are members of the family of God. Do not grow weary in doing good for us all. You, friends, have the opportunity to make a difference for all of us today. I believe that the answers to our state's challenges are in this room, and the leaders for our states, present and future, are in this room. Don't give up. Don't stop. Don't quit. Keep working to help us become the state that we are created to be. Let us now go to God in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for this day, for the opportunities it holds for us and for this state. I thank you for the leaders in this great room and the ways that you are using them to draw us forward into your good future for us. May their actions and decisions today bring honor and glory to you. May their work embody both love of God and love of neighbor. This we pray in the name of God, our Creator, Redeemer, and Friend. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir.
Doorkeepers will unlock the doors. Members may greet the chaplain in the South Anteroom. The chair recognizes Chairman Hogan, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal of the previous legislative day and found it to be correct. And furthermore, Mr. Speaker, drive careful on this road called life, because people will switch lanes on you without a signal.
We did that one yesterday.
Amen to that. Chairman Hogan, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none and the journal is confirmed. The clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day.
Mr. Burns, 159th moves the following be established as the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of bills, House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Reports of standing committees. Third reading and passage of uncontested local bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? The chair hears none and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 1587 by Representative Saints of the 180th and Corbett of the 174th. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act to create the Camden County Public
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1588 by Representative Thomas of the 21st. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act creating a new charter for the city of Holly Springs.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1589 by Representative Thomas of the 21st. Bill being entitled an act to amend an act creating a new charter for the city of Holly Springs.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1590 by Representative Saints of the 180th and Corbett of the 174th. Bill being entitled an act to repeal an act creating the Camden County Spaceport Authority.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1591 by Representative Stevens, 164th Hatchet of the 150th and Knight of the 130th. Bill being entitled an act to amend Code Section 1614.3 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to definitions relating to racketeer influence and corrupt
Judiciary
organizations.
non-civil.
House Bill 1592 by Representative Deloach of the 167th. Bill being entitled an act to create the Long County Building and Public Facilities Authority.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1593 by Representative Crowe of the 110th and Holmes of the 129th. Bill being titled an act amending an act provide a new charter for the city of Jackson.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Resolution 1050 by Representative Smith, the 70th England and the 116th, Rich of the 97th, Perkle of the 155th, and Greens the 151st. A resolution recognizing and commemorating outstanding advancements in water conservation.
Natural resources and environment.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 1580 by Representative Kennard of the 102nd, Crow of the 110th, Park of the 101st, Lumsden of the 12th, Moore of the 95th, a bill relating to Office of Public Safety Support. House Bill 1585 by Representative Cantrell of the 22nd, Ballinger of the 23rd, Byrd of the 20th, Carson of the 46th, Thomas of the 21st, a bill to amend an act to create the State Court of Cherokee County. House Bill 1586 by Representative Camp of the 131st, a bill to provide a homestead exemption from Upson County ad valorem taxes. House Resolution 1047 by Representative Jaspers of the 11th, a resolution honoring the life of Mr. N.C. Lowe, Jr. and dedicating a bridge in his memory. House Resolution 1048 by Representative Earhart of the 36th, Jones of the 47th, Dubnik of the 29th, Knight of the 130th, Irwin of the 28th, and others. A resolution creating the House Study Committee on Education Accreditation. Through second readers.
Reports of standing committees. The clerk will read.
Representative Robert Dickey, the 140th District Chairman of the Committee on Agriculture and Consumer Affairs, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Agriculture and Consumer Affairs had to consideration the following bill of the Senate and is instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendation, Senate Bill 486, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Robert Dickey, the 140th District Chairman. Representative Williams of the 148th District, Chairman of the Committee on Banks and Banking, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Banks and Banking has set into consideration the following bill of the Senate. Has instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendation, Senate Bill 470, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Williams, the 148th District Chairman. Representative Don Parsons of the 44th District, Chairman of the Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications is under consideration the following bill of the Senate. It's instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendation, Senate Bill 529, do pass by substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Don Parsons, the 44th District Chairman. Representative Petrie, the 166th District Chairman of the Committee on Human Relations and Aging, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Human Relations and Aging is under consideration the following bill of the Senate and instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendation, Senate Bill 610, do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Petrie, the 166th District Chairman. Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District Chairman of the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local has had under consideration the following bills of the House. It instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 1062, do pass. House Bill 1138, do pass. House Bill 1196, do pass. House Bill 1323, do pass. House Bill 1325, do pass. House Bill 1326, do pass. House Bill 1327, do pass. House Bill 1328, do pass. House Bill 1398, do pass. House Bill 1399, do pass. House Bill 1417, do pass. House Bill 1492, do pass. House Bill 1493, do pass. House Bill 1497, do pass. House Bill 1507, do pass. House Bill 1551, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District Chairman. Representative Abstration of the 104th District, Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary is under consideration the following bill of the Senate and instructed me to report same back to the House with following recommendation. Senate Bill 363 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Abstration of the 104th District, Chairman. Representative James Burchett of the 176th District, Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil is under consideration the following bill of the Senate. Instructed me to report same back to the House with following recommendations. Senate Bill 461 do pass. Senate Bill 565 do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative James Burchett of the 176th District, Chairman. Representative Carson, the 46th District, Chairman of the Committee on Retirement, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Retirement had in consideration the following bill of the Senate. Instructed me to report same back to the House following recommendations. Senate Bill 84 do pass. Senate Bill 281 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Carson of the 46th District, Chairman. Representative Belton of the 112th District, Chairman of the Committee on Special Rules, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Special Rules has had on consideration the following bills and resolutions to the House. Instructed me to report the same back to the House following recommendations. House Resolution 667 do pass. House Resolution 625 do pass. House Bill 1035 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Belton of the 112th District, Chairman. Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District, Chairman of the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination and Locals, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination and Locals had under consideration the following bills of the House and the Senate and instructed me to report the same back with the following recommendations. House Bill 1574 do pass. House Bill 1575 do pass. House Bill 1577 do pass. House Bill 1579 do pass. House Bill 1581 do pass. House Bill 1582 do pass. House Bill 1583 do pass. House Bill 1584 do pass. Senate Bill 615 do pass. Senate Bill 616 do pass. Senate Bill 624 do pass. House Bill 1446 do pass. House Bill 1468 do pass. House Bill 1489 do pass. House Bill 1535 do pass. House Bill 1536 do pass. House Bill 1537 do pass. House Bill 1538 do pass. House Bill 1539 do pass. House Bill 1540 do pass by substitute. House Bill 1541 do pass by substitute. House Bill 1552 do pass. House Bill 1557 do pass. House Bill 1558 do pass. House Bill 1561 do pass. House Bill 1562 do pass. House Bill 1564 do pass. House Bill 1565 do pass. House Bill 1566 do pass. House Bill 1567 do pass. House Bill 1568 do pass. House Bill 1572 do pass by substitute. House Bill 1573 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
Okay, we're going on now to the local calendar. We're going on to the local calendar. There are 16 bills on the local calendar which relate to homestead exemption, and those will require a recorded 2/3 roll call vote for passage. Third reading and passage of uncontested local bills. If there is no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 1062 by Representative Campbell, 131st, Upson County. House Bill 1138 by Representative Neal, 74th City of Mara. House Bill 1196 by Representative Paulo, 32nd Hart County. House Bill 1323 by Representative Camp of the 131st Upson County. House Bill 1325 by Representative Camp of the 131st Upson County. House Bill 1326 by Representative Camp of the 131st Upson County. House Bill 1327 by Representative Camp of the 131st Upson County. House Bill 1328 by Representative Camp of the 131st Upson County. House Bill 1398 by Representative Belton of the 112th City of Covington. House Bill 1399 by Representative Holly of the 111th City of Locust Grove. House Bill 1417 by Representative Bodie, the 62nd City of College Park. House Bill 1492 by Representative Jones, the 47th City of Milton. House Bill 1493 by Representative Jones, the 47th City of Milton. House Bill 1497 by Representative Jones, the 47th City of Milton. House Bill 1507 by Representative Moptahon of the 17th Paulding County. House Bill 1551 by Representative Camp of the 131st Pike County.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the local calendar? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bills on the local calendar will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does the majority leader rise? State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that each of these measures that are on this local calendar have been asked for by the local authorities, and they have been supported by the local delegation for each of these areas? Then they have the full support, I may add again, of the local delegations in this body for these measures. Is that not true, Mr. Speaker?
That is, yes, is generally true. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of the bills on the local calendar. The ayes are 125, the nays are 38. These bills, having received the requisite constitutional majority, are therefore passed. What purpose does Chairman Tankersley rise?
Speaker, I rise to make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that we immediately transmit the local calendar to the Senate.
Chairman Tankersley has moved that the local calendar just passed by this House be immediately transmitted to the State Senate. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. All right, so while we're on local calendars, we'll go ahead and do the supplemental. If there's no objection, we will vote on the supplemental local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. I would point out that one bill on the local calendar is an agree-disagree. Having received the requisite number of signatures required, the House delegation wishes to agree to the Senate substitute. If there's no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 1446 by Representative Wilson, the 80th City of Brookhaven. House Bill 1468 by Representative Benton of the 31st Town of Pendergrass. House Bill 1489 by substitute by Representative Moptahon of the 17th Paulding County. House Bill 1535 by Representative Taylor of the 173rd Grady County. House Bill 1536 by Representative Green of the 151st Lower Chattahoochee Regional Transportation Authority. House Bill 1537 by Representative Seaball of the 34th Cobb County. House Bill 1538 by Representative Anulowitz of the 42nd City of Smyrna. House Bill 1539 by Representative Burchett of the 176th City of Waycross. House Bill 1540 by substitute by Representative Allen of the 40th Cobb County. House Bill 1541 by substitute by Representative Allen of the 40th Cobb County. House Bill 1552 by Representative Jackson of the 64th, Union County. House Bill 1557 by Representative Gravely of the 67th, Baldwin County. House Bill 1558 by Representative Smyre of the 135th, Columbus, Muskogee County. House Bill 1561 by Representative Bentley of the 139th, Macon County. House Bill 1562 by Representative Ralston of the 7th, Gilmer County. House Bill 1564 by Representative Pruitt of the 149th, Wheeler County. House Bill 1565 by Representative Mallow of the 163rd, City of Savannah. House Bill 1566 by Representative Houston of the 170th, Berrien County. House Bill 1567 by Representative Cameron of the 1st, Dade County. House Bill 1568 by Representative Williamson of the 115th, Walton County. House Bill 1572 by substitute by Representative Caucus of the 138th, Sumter County. House Bill 1573 by Representative Yurt of the 152nd, Worth County. House Bill 1574 by Representative Taylor of the 173rd, City of Cairo. House Bill 1575 by Representative Crowe of the 110th, Butts County. House Bill 1577 by Representative Davis of the 87th, DeKalb County. House Bill 1579 by Representative Buckner of the 137th, City of Woodland. House Bill 1581 by Representative Ridley of the 6th, City of Varnell. House Bill 1582 by Representative Momtahan of the 17th, City of Dallas. House Bill 1583 by Representative Momtahan of the 17th, City of Dallas. House Bill 1584 by Representative Momtahan of the 17th, City of Dallas. Senate Bill 615 by Senator Mullis, the 53rd, Town of Lyerly. Senate Bill 616 by Senator Mullis, the 53rd, Chattooga County. Senate Bill 64 by Senator Anna Duarte, the 31st, City of Cedartown. House Bill 771 by Senate Substitute by Representative Thomas of the 39th, City of Austell.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the local calendar? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bills on the local calendar, the supplemental local calendar, will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of the bills on the supplemental local calendar. The ayes are 152, the nays are 12. These bills, having received the requisite constitutional majority, are therefore passed. What purpose does Chairman Tankersley rise?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that we immediately transmit the local calendar to the Senate.
Chairman Tankersley has moved that the local calendar, a supplemental local calendar just passed by this House, be immediately transmitted to the state Senate. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. All right, we have a reconsideration from yesterday. On Tuesday, March 22, the House passed Senate Bill 331. The lady from the 58th District served notice of a motion to reconsider the action of the House in giving Senate Bill 331 the requisite majority. Now is the time for the lady to pursue the motion if she so desires. She so desires. On the lady's motion that the House reconsider its action in giving Senate Bill 331 a requisite constitutional majority, all those in favor of reconsideration will vote aye. Those opposed to reconsideration will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the lady's motion, those voting in favor of reconsideration were 67. Those voting in opposition were 95, and the motion has failed. We are now going on to morning orders. 1 minute each for morning orders. And the messenger is going to strictly enforce that. We've gotten a little bit lax with it. Chair recognizes Chairman Nix for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I've got some good news for you this morning, but I also have some bad news for you. The good news is this. On crossover day, the Senate voted down their gambling legislation. The bad news is the sponsor says we've got a vehicle for them to ride that thing through the House on. I have put an article on your desk entitled America's Gambling Addiction is Metastasizing. And I hope you'll take a look at that. As I told you before, gambling is not dead until the big guy behind me hits that big old hammer and says, "Sonny, die." So I expect that monster to come back most any day now. Probably could come today because they like to come after a dark and stormy night. A couple of things I'd get you to look at on page 4. Transactions once considered the purview of the mafia have now been mainstreamed. Credit lines with 23%. Gambling relies on addiction for its business model to function. Gambling ruins lives by way of soul-crushing debt. Please, don't let the Senate don't let this House resurrect a bad idea that died in the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Jaspers for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, you might listen up real quick. Every time we do road namings throughout the year, I'm asked, Chairman Jaspers, how do I pay for this ad? You know, who do I get to pay for this sign? Do I take it out of my campaign funds or do I get somebody else to pay for it? Did a little research. You can use your expense reimbursement account. If you follow their rules, you can use it for your ads and for the sign. So just make sure you follow their rules, and that'll be very successful. Also, Mr. Speaker, got in the ante room, Mama Geraldine's famous aged cheese straws. They're available all over the state of Georgia. This is a Georgia-grown, Pickens County grown from the beginning to right now. They do a great job, very tasty. I hope you enjoy them. And Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Hughley for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and ladies and gentlemen of the House. I need to have everybody's attention for 1 second. On tomorrow, we are starting the celebration of the Dean of this House for his farewell, and you're all invited to his farewell reception tomorrow from 5 to 7 at the College Football Hall of Fame. We are looking for you. Let us know that you're coming. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Walensky for a morning order.
Thank you, Speaker. I got an exciting announcement. We are launching the Georgia-Israel Legislative Caucus tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. There will be a big press conference. There will be members from the Middle East and Gulf states in that area representing the Abraham Accords will be there. International folks will have great speakers. It's a huge event. The purpose of this caucus, much like the Georgia-Japan caucus, is to show the mutually beneficial relationship between Georgia and Israel, technological, military, agriculture, export, imports, and Georgia and Israel have such a good relationship that we're just going to show everybody how important it is, and I hope all y'all will join the caucus. Thank y'all so much.
Chair recognizes Representative Edna Jackson for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To my fellow representative, it is an honor to tell you about Mamie George Williams. You have information on your desk. She was born in Savannah, educated at Beach High School, attended Atlanta University, became very active. In 1920, she was a member, she was very much involved in politics. This is unusual woman. She is African American, but if you look at the picture that's on your desk, it is very difficult to tell. Miss Williams' politics involved being a part of the party of the year at that time, which was the party of Lincoln. She earned all kind of recognition and became the first African American, a woman, to the National Convention and a member of the Republican Committee. She also organized over 200 women here in the state of Georgia, a trailblazer. For you, I said, I see the light is red. But if you will just read and join us in recognizing Miss Williams.
Chair recognizes Representative Schofield for a morning order.
I saw a shade trying to take my spot.
No,
Get over here.
make a little room. Can I get in here, please? She gotta get in here.
Oh, I thought I was. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. Today is Lupus Advocacy Day at the Capitol. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that impacts over 90,000 Georgians. They are our families, live in our districts, attend our churches with us, and serve in this body. Thank you to the Georgia chapter of the Lupus Foundation of America, lupus advocates, lupus warriors across Georgia, and the caregivers for their amazing work. For many, we know that lupus sucks.
That's right.
But we're making strides in our research, advocacy, and awareness. Thank you, continually thanking this body for all of the work they do in being lupus champions. Thank you today for wearing your cape. We are truly lupus superheroes. Thank you. I yield the well. And I have.
Chair recognizes Representative Angela Moore for a morning order.
No.
Just a reminder, everyone, that today is Agricultural Hero Day, and we are celebrating Kendall Ray Johnson, the youngest farmer here in Georgia. She is 6 years old. She's downstairs vetting every media here in the state of Georgia and New York and California. So she's really getting a good taste of what Georgia Hero is all about. And we ask you to help support her down at the South Portico after session. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Jasmine Clark for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This morning I rise to congratulate the Trickham Middle School Tiger Bots, the school's robotic team that will travel to Houston, Texas next month and compete in the 2022 FIRST, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, Robotics World Championships. Only 108 teams out of 24,000 teams and 50 different countries are competing in this competition. So we are immensely proud of our Tiger Bots for their outstanding work and this amazing opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members of the House will come to order and take your seats. We have a couple of other special orders. Chair recognizes for a special order Representative Dwayne Hill. Representative Hill.
I promise that I'm not going to be too long. I got my scroll out here, so. Well, I got it. It's here. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel I need to. People I want to thank. My wife. This is tougher than what I thought it'd be. She's probably better known around here than I am. I'll walk down the hall and somebody will say, now who are you? I said, my name's Dwayne Hill. Oh, you're Wanda's husband, aren't you? So that's how they know me. I tell her every day, that I love her more today than I did yesterday. And I mean that. Our children, our daughters Dawn, Laura, our sons Wade, Joey, and our youngest Brandon. And I promised my brother-in-law that I'd mention his name too, Wayne Peliquin. From Augusta, Georgia. Also, my niece called me and said, now you better tell them who makes you look good. She's the one that cuts my hair, Julie McCurdy from Ringgold, Georgia. My friends, Tom Weldon. Y'all remember Tom? Tom and Senator Mullis is the reason, along with another gentleman, is the reason I'm here. My church family, my admin, Delane Roberts, all the doorkeepers who've made it pleasant. Speaker Ralston, whom I admire for his leadership, his patience with all of us. The first question I asked myself when I got here was, Lord, what in the world am I doing here? Yeah. I don't believe things just happen, so when I get to heaven, I'll ask, why me, Lord? Why is it that I get to serve with such distinguished ladies and gentlemen? I love you. The Bible teaches me to love one another as we love ourselves. If we do that, we'll be in great company. When I first got here, I didn't have nothing but a badge, my name tag. I didn't have my badge, so somebody said, "You got to get a badge." I said, "Well, where do I go to get that?" I didn't know. So, "You got to go to the speaker's office." I said, "Okay." Excuse me. "Where's the speaker's office?" "On the 3rd floor." I said, "Okay." So I come up to the 3rd floor, and I start my trip around. And so I see some guys that I had met, and I waved at them. Second time around, I said, "Y'all doing okay?" I didn't want to tell them I was lost, so the 3rd time I come around, I said, "Well, one more trip, and I've got my workout in for the day." So then I come around one more time, and there was a young man standing there, and I'm headed in that direction. And I said, "Do you know where the speaker's office is?" He said, "Yes, sir." He turned around and said, "There it is." So I done passed that thing 4 times. But it's been a good experience. I wouldn't take nothing for it. I've met such distinguished people as you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish the dean the best on his new role. We're going to be honored to have you there. The speaker, I thank him. Him and Cherie have become part of they are part of our family. And I want to leave you with this. The day is long. My time is short. I bid you all farewell. And Mr. Speaker, I yield the will.
Well, we have another one of these here, but we're going to go ahead while people are greeting Representative Hill and do the rules calendar, and then I'm going to ask you, though, at the end of the rules calendar to please stay in your seats. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 341.
Senate Bill 341 by Senator Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Watson the 1st, Burke of the 11th, and others being entitled an act to amend Article 2 of Chapter 46 and Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to the prior authorizations of healthcare services so as to provide guidelines for the prior authorization of a prescribed medication for chronic conditions requiring ongoing medication therapy. This bill having referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman Newton to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. I appreciated the support shown by the Capes, by heroes working against a chronic medical illness called lupus. It's one that I've dealt with in the challenges in patients in the emergency department. Together, I bring you Senate Bill 341 today. That does give us an opportunity in a small but effective way of changing the lives of Georgians who do have chronic medical conditions. Senate Bill 341 addresses a simple area, but a crucial area for people that have a chronic medication need for a chronic condition, and that's the effort of going through what's called a prior authorization. Usually you can get 2 or 3 months of a medicine at once. What can typically happen is if you need a special medicine for your condition, your chronic condition, you have to go through what's called prior authorization. The patient and the doctor have to work together on that. Senate Bill 341 simply maintains that if you go through prior authorization once in a year, that's good for 12 months or until the end of your contract with your insurance company. You don't have to do it every 3 months. It's a small but effective step to assure that patients can get the medications they need They can get them with the minimal amount of disruption in their life. They already have the disruption of a chronic medical condition. This just helps them do it with the least amount of interference and for the doctor and the patient to work together in a positive way. I hope you'll support Senate Bill 341. Mr. Speaker, I'll yield for any questions if there are.
You have a couple of questions if you care to yield.
I'm glad to. Yes, sir. I yield.
Chair recognizes Representative Kausha to your left for a question.
Thank you. Does the gentleman yield?
I do.
Just thank you for bringing this bill. Just a very quick question. We discuss a lot about mental health these days, and in my mind, mental health disease can be regarded as a chronic disease. Would this bill cover prescriptions that are mental health related and substance abuse disorder related?
The lady brings up an excellent point. This covers all medications for chronic medical conditions that are expected to last over 12 months. And as we've been going over, so much in mental illness can be so much better treated if people will get on their medications and stay on them, avoiding emergency departments, hospitalization, commitments, and you're absolutely right, it will cover those as well.
Thank you.
Do you further yield?
Yes, sir.
Chair recognizes Representative Kennard to your left for a question.
Yes, does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
What is the current timeline for most approvals?
Most of the time, it's a 90-day for a medication, so it will require the patient and the physician office to reapply each time. This just will streamline it to where you can get it once a year, and it actually does cover dosage changes during that year as well, as long as it's the same medication.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll yield the well and appreciate your support.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of Senate Bill 341, the ayes are 161, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 493.
Senate Bill 493 by Senator Mullis, the 53rd, and Gooch, the 51st, being entitled an act to amend Part 7 of Article 5 of Chapter 3, Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated relating to miscellaneous provisions regarding timeshare projects and programs, so as to authorize non-judicial foreclosure of timeshare estates. This bill having referred to the Committee on Judiciary, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman Gunter to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 493 is exactly the same bill as House Bill 1088 that we passed out of here. What this does is it changes a timeshare, and it only applies to timeshares. Changes a foreclosure on timeshares from judicial to non-judicial. Makes it more efficient for them to do that. I'll take any questions.
Do you yield for questions?
I do.
You don't, I thought you had one, but you don't, so you have no questions.
All right. Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Kausha rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Isn't it true that it's quite a waste of resources and time if the Senate keeps copying what we already accomplished?
They have a tendency to do that. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of Senate Bill 493, the ayes are 159, the nays are 2. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 469.
Senate Bill 469 by Senator Harper, the 7th, again to the 47th, Davenport to the 44th, Jackson to the 41st, and others, to be entitled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 7, Title 52, the official code of Georgia Annotated relating to general provisions of registration, operation, and sales of watercraft, so as to require certain watercraft to have day and night visual distress signals on board when on coastal waters of Georgia. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Game, Fish, and Parks. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes the distinguished chairman of the Game, Fish, and Parks Committee, Chairman Rhodes, to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You need to tell my bride that. Senate bill.
I tried, and she didn't believe me either.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Senate Bill 469, this is a department bill, and all this simply does is it updates our Georgia code to our federal code on our boat lighting, and our life vests. If we don't do this, we could stand to lose over $800,000 of federal funds. So I would appreciate your favorable consideration. I'll yield the will, Mr. Speaker.
You have no questions? Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Kennard rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Isn't it true, Mr. Speaker, that my son-in-law, Chris Clark, is a officer in the United States Coast Guard and has just been assigned to Annapolis to teach at the Naval Academy?
If the gentleman so states, proud of his service. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 469, the ayes are 164, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 358.
Senate Bill 358 by Senator Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Thompson of the 14th, Harbison of the 15th, and others, be entitled an act to amend Code Section 3555 of the official code of Georgia Annotated relating to the Georgia Public Safety Training Center available for use by certain personnel, fees, enrollment, authorization for expenditure of funds, and powers and duties. This bill having referred to the Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman Belton to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm honored to bring you SB 358. This recommendation came from Trish Ross, Colonel Trish Ross. I used to work for her down at Robbins Air Force Base. She then led the formation of the Vector Center. If you have a Veterans Affairs question, the Vector Center, Warner Robins, they can answer that question for you. They do a great job. She did such a good job that she's now the commissioner of the entire Veterans Affairs for the entire state. What this bill does is something we do already for police chiefs, wardens, emergency medical personnel, is allow veterans to transition to becoming law enforcement and paying the expenses to do that. And it's going to affect about 10 to 15 people a year, probably at a cost of about $3,600. And that's the bill. I stand for questions.
You do have a question, do you yield?
Yes, sir, I do.
Chair recognizes Representative Laricchia to your right for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman, yield.
To my friend.
Just wanted to say to the gentleman that we appreciate all your hard work for these veterans over the years, and I think I speak for all of us when we appreciate that, and just wanted to let you know that publicly.
Well, thank you. I want to say I appreciate the speaker for, it was his vision that started this, and when we passed this one, it'll be 60 different bills, 60 over the last couple of years to help our veterans. Thank you, and I'll yield the well.
You were the running back, though. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 358, the ayes are 163, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 395.
Senate Bill 395 by Senator Hatch of the 50th be titled an act to amend Code Section 1562 of the Official Code of Georgia and Territory relating the number of judges in superior courts so as to provide for a third judge of the Superior Court of the Mountain Judicial Circuit. This bill having referred to the Committee on Judiciary, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman Gunter to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, Senate Bill 395, as you just heard, adds a third judge to the Mountain Judicial Circuit. This is determined by a workload assessment done by the Judicial Council and AOC. The Mountain Judicial Circuit has ranked up there for the last few years. They're now sitting in the third position. This will add one judge to the circuit, and I'll take any questions that you might have.
Can't have too many judges, can we?
It grows every year.
Yeah, you have no questions.
Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of Senate Bill 395. The ayes are 162. The nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 396.
Senate Bill 396 by Senator Goodman of the 8th, Jones of the 22nd, Walker of the 20th, and others to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 17 of Title II of the Official Code of Georgia and Territory relating to the Georgia State Nutrition Assistance Program so as to rename such program to the Georgia Grown Farm to Food Bank program. This bill having been referred to the Committee on Agriculture and Consumer Affairs. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Representative Meeks to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the opportunity to bring to you today Senate Bill 396, Georgia Grown Farm to Food Bank Program bill that came over from the Senate. You know, farmers across our state, day in and day out, work very diligently to provide the most affordable, safest, most abundant food supply in the world. We work as they do is the active half of duty, and it's also true that time and nature also provides opportunities and limitations, two aspects that are critical in agriculture. The Farm to Food Bank program is a program that was in current code. We have now funded the program at $800,000, updates the code to allow Georgia growers to sell to food banks across our state, therefore providing fresh fruit and vegetables that are grown in Georgia to food banks to then provide to those that are less fortunate. Food banks across Georgia have reported they receive 14 million pounds of produce each year, but turn away 4 to 5 million pounds of produce because there is a lack of funding. No funds have been appropriated to this program since its inception in 1998. So we're in the budget putting in $800,000 and then updating the current code to allow for the Department of Agriculture to establish the program. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll be happy to take a question if there is any. If not, I will yield the well.
You do have some questions.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Watson to your right for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that this bill would be the perfect example of altruism?
That is certainly true. You know what you speak.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll yield the will and ask for your favorable considerations.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Bennett rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it not true that this bill would do a lot to help resolve food inequities in Georgia? Food deserts?
I should think it would.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of Senate Bill 396, the ayes are 161, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. All right, members of the House will continue to be seated and be in order. We have another special order. Chair recognizes Chairman Dave Belton for a special order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this very rare honor. Hear the mighty engines roar. See the silver wing on high. She's away and westward bound, far above the sky she'll fly. Where the rain don't fall and the sun always shines. I'll be flying over this dome in about 2 minutes' time. For I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed, enjoying the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds, and done 100 things, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence, chasing the laughing wind through footless halls of air, up, 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 the delirious burning blue, topping the towering heights where lark nor eagle ever flew. The high, untrespassed sanctity of space, the silent lifting mind I've trod, and put out my trembling hand and touched the face of God.
All right, the clerk has a tray full of local bills up here submitted by members of both parties. We have gotten along pretty well with a little procedure we've had, so the chair would ask for unanimous consent that the rules of the House be temporarily suspended to allow those bills to be read and assigned to, read for the first time and assigned to committee. They will each be assigned to intergovernmental coordination. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. They all go to intergovernmental coordination. What purpose does Chairman Dubnik rise?
To make a motion.
State your motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 316 be moved from the House Education Committee to the House Judiciary Non-Civil Committee. Both chairmen are in agreement.
Chairman Dubnik has moved that Senate Bill 316 be transferred from the Education Committee to the Judiciary Non-Civil Committee. The clerk will read the caption.
Senate Bill 316 to be entitled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 5 of Title 16, the official code of Georgia annotated relating to stalking, so as to provide that a person 18 years or older who commits the offense of stalking against a minor shall be guilty of a high and aggravated misdemeanor.
On the gentleman's motion that Senate Bill 316 be transferred from Education to Judiciary Non-Civil, is there objection? Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. What purpose does Chairman F. Strachan rise?
Make a motion.
State your motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 1578 be transferred from the Judiciary Committee to the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee. Both chairmen are in agreement.
Chairman F. Strachan has moved that House Bill 1578 be transferred from the Judiciary Committee to the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1578 to be entitled an act to provide for the designation of the Chief Judge of the Multi Judicial Circuit.
On the gentleman's motion that House Bill 1578 be transferred from the Judiciary Committee to the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee, is there any objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions. Clerk will read.
Honoring the life and memory of Penny Morgan. Honoring the life and memory of Bruce Birch. Commending Travel Unity and recognizing March 22nd through 25th, 2022 as the first regional event in the Southeast. Commending AIDS Atlanta and recognizing the Foundation's 40th anniversary. Recognizing, commending Robert and Bob E. James for over 50 years with Carver State Bank as president and CEO, and celebrating the 95th anniversary of Carver State Bank. Commending Georgia Lyman and recognizing April 11th, 2022 as Georgia Lyman Appreciation Day at the state capitol. Commending Kalia Nelson. Commending the House interns for the 2022 regular session of the Georgia Assembly of Georgia. Commending the House session assistants for the 2022 regular session. Recognizing the Association of Georgia General Aviation Airports in an industry association for general aviation airports in the state of Georgia and its corporate officers. Recognizing, commending Samantha Sonovy, Kimberly Ward. Commending the nation of Israel for its cordial and mutual beneficial relationship with the United States and with the state of Georgia. Recognizing April 4, 2022 as Celebration Organized Labor Day in Georgia Day. Recognizing, commending Jerome Stevens, commending the Georgia chapter of Lupus Foundation of America, and recognizing March 23rd, 2022 as Lupus Advocacy Day at the state capitol. Commending the Norris Price 2022 Georgia Superintendent of the Year. Commending and congratulating Mary Frances Blaylock. Recognizing and commending Tom Mahaffey on his outstanding public service as CEO of the Sandy Springs Perimeter Chamber, and honoring the life and memory of Betty Blondow. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privilege resolution.
Is there any objection to adopting the privilege resolutions? The chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. We're about to go on to announcements. If you have signed up for an announcement, make your way to the front of the chamber. Chair recognizes Chairman Gerald Green for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The State Properties Committee will meet today at 1 p.m. in room 506. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Werkheiser for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Industry and Labor House Committee will meet today in CLOB 506 at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Watson for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rural Caucus will meet upon adjournment at 2:01, and Department of Agriculture, we've got the University of Georgia College of Agriculture meeting today. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dubnik for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Education Committee will meet at 1 p.m. in room 341. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Knight for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just want to go ahead and get y'all to look at your calendars for next Wednesday, the 30th, sometime in the afternoon. The Sportsman's Caucus, as we usually do in the House and in the Senate, are going to have an event, a sporting event. We're about to hopefully get the details out, but I want to go ahead and get you to mark your your calendars on the 30th from 5 to 8. And we'll get details out shortly and have our annual sporting shooting event. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Mitchell for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Despite the notices that you may have received, there will be no Democratic Caucus meeting tomorrow. We will meet via Zoom on Friday at 8 a.m. Expect the updated notice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Gullett for an announcement.
Thank you. Full Committee of Governmental Affairs will meet today at 2 o'clock, room 406 in the CLOB. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Cannon for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, members. Today, Wellstar is sponsoring the first annual Provider Appreciation Day. There are 3 resolutions that have been done for 3 nurse midwives and OBGYNs. You're all invited to CAP 125 today. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Becky Evans for an announcement.
The DeKalb delegation will meet virtually and lunch at noon or upon adjournment, and lunch pickup is in 404 CLOB.
Chair recognizes Representative Walensky for an announcement.
Thank you, Speaker. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., I announced I forgot to say where. Georgia, Israel, Legislative Caucus meeting 10 a.m. at the South Stairs press conference. Hope you all will be there to show support. Thank you.
As you know, tomorrow we are having a committee work day, and I know everybody's going to be here working. We'll check and make sure that you are. But it's also a special day. It's the birthday of Representative Brian Prince. Happy birthday. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in concurrence with our House calendar, that includes our adjournment date, I would move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Friday, March the 25th at 2022.
So now let me see if I understand this. It is a Friday, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Speaker.
But the adjournment resolution has been out since what, late January?
Pretty close, Mr. Speaker. I think that's correct.
So everybody has known of the Fridays that we would be here at least that far in advance.
Absolutely, and tomorrow is a committee work day as well. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Majority Leader has moved that this House stand adjourned until Friday morning, March 25th at 10 a.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will give a resounding no. The ayes seem to have it. This House will be adjourned until Friday, March 25th at 10 a.m.